I'm okay. Hi folks, I'm Ignatiy Vishnevetsky.
And I'm Alex Dowd.
Today we're talking about Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Welcome to Film Club. So I feel like it's kind of unfair to release a sort of a Spielberg knockoff in the same year as an actual Steven Spielberg blockbuster, you know? This film is obviously Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. It's the fifth film in the Jurassic Park series. First one from 1993, Steven Spielberg directed. He also did the second, The Lost World.
And the original Jurassic Park is a perfect piece of entertainment. It really did not need a sequel.
No, it didn't.
But The Lost World is kind of fun. It's
I would say a lot of fun, really,
Yeah,
and a lot of it comes down to his craftsmanship.
Yes.
You know, he's very good at staging these scenes of dinosaur mayhem. You know, and Spielberg has his own film out this year, of course, which is Ready Player One. And Ready Player One is not a particularly smart film in a lot of ways, but it's made with just so much gusto, and he elevates it with his craft. And this is a film that does not have that level of craftsmanship going for it. It does have more craftsmanship, however, than Jurassic World.
So Colin Trevorrow directed Jurassic World somewhat anonymously.
Yeah, barely competently, I would say.
And you have J.A. Bayona taking over here with a somewhat different Spielberg impression. I think what I find amusing about this film is that for the first 45 minutes, it's really an Indiana Jones pastiche. So you're taking one signature Spielberg mode and kind of transplanting into another. Though I think that anyone going into a movie called Jurassic World, I don't think they're really expecting that about 2/3 of it are going to take place in a mansion. Because this is something we need to talk about. The premise of this film, as it starts, is that the island where the dinosaurs are. By the way, if you've not seen Jurassic Park, any of the subsequent films, dinosaurs were brought back through science magic, and there were multiple theme parks built on this disastrously bad idea. And you'd think that after all this time, people would learn to stop doing dinosaur stuff when it's dark and rainy, because it happens a few times here.
Yeah, I mean, there's an opening scene that's very much a callback to the original Jurassic Park in some ways. That film opens as well in the dark and in the rain, and this one does as well. Some of the better, I feel like one of the better set pieces actually is the opening one.
Yeah. So essentially there's a volcano that's about to erupt on the island that has all the resurrected dinosaurs, or what's left of them. They have to go and rescue 11 species. You've got the Chris Pratt character, whose name I'm not going to bother to remember. The very memorable Owen Grady, Bryce Dallas Howard. They go back, rescue the dinosaurs, and you think that is
the plot of the movie.
That is a pretty... It's a workable premise. You can work with that, but no, that's Act 1. And Act like 2 through 4, 5, 6 is a very strange Gothic horror homage.
I kind of admire that quality about it, honestly. This is a very stupid movie. I mean, even by the standards of this series, which I feel has been kind of getting more breathlessly stupid with every single entry, you know, as we move further away from any semblance of this being science fiction, you know, and just into pure monster movie nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, there's one subplot in this movie where the moment it is first hinted, I just spent the, it was like eager, giddy with anticipation for the next 40 or whatever minutes of the movie, waiting for how clunkily it will actually be revealed.
Yeah. As silly and stupid as it is, I do think that getting it off the island is not a terrible idea, you know, and it becomes this very goofy sort of haunted house monster movie with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And that's, that at least varies the nature of the set pieces a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of brings it back into this odd Victoriana where you have this dinosaur auction scene. You have...
Which is very funny, by the way. There's like a catwalk that they're pushing the dinosaurs down.
And Toby Jones with fake teeth.
Yes.
And James Cromwell, right? Yeah. And you've got James Cromwell basically in a Christopher Plummer role. I guess Christopher Plummer was busy, in his wheelchair around his big mansion full of fossils and museum dioramas. But is this movie something that you would ever recommend to a person to go see?
I was just about to ask you the same thing. Reluctantly, I would say. I think it ultimately is even kind of a little worse than the last one. I do think that it has one thing on Jurassic World, which I think I mentioned before, which is that I do think it's much better directed. I think that this is a film that has some really strong images in it.
That are so unrelated to the plot of the film. There's a weird scene with a dinosaur in the little girl's bedroom.
Yes, but that's one of the few scenes in the movie that revives a little bit of the raw fear of Spielberg's original Jurassic Park, you know, where this thing is actually working to build suspense. It's also doing a lot of fun stuff with light, I feel like. There are a lot of moments in the film where flashes of light will illuminate a dinosaur getting closer down a passageway. It almost seems actually sort of indebted to the Alien films.
Well, you know what I was going to say is you say that the opening sequence kind of reminds you of the original, but what it reminded me of, because it features an underwater submersible, these two guys, they're just doing the work, they got to haul this dinosaur, get this dinosaur DNA sample. It kind of felt, in a funny way, like a James Cameron homage.
Yeah, oh, very much so.
And then it instantly made me think, oh man, it would have been cool if James Cameron did the Jurassic Park sequel. And then it made me think maybe that's the direction that these things should have gone, is to just get really, really complicated with it. It does, because it is going for a pastiche of some non-Jurassic Park influences. It still feels very derivative.
Yeah. I will say I wish that they didn't feel the need. Every one of these films inches us closer towards the dinosaurs being the good guys. There's one velociraptor in this film, Blue. She was introduced in Jurassic World. And at this point, I mean, she's basically like, the changes, you mentioned Cameron before. I mean, it's basically that the T-1000 has been made into a good guy. The raptor is now basically the good guy, you know?
And yet, after, we're 5 movies in, and they still haven't put a saddle on a dinosaur.
Yeah, there's no dinosaur riding. What the hell?
I mean, maybe because we're getting into such incredibly ridiculous territory. And it would really spoil some of the fun of this film to explain how ludicrous its plot really is.
Yeah.
And we're talking by the standards of a series that is about people bringing back dinosaurs and building a park and then doing it again.
Do you think the 6th one will just be in space?
I think,
like a space station?
I think I don't even know where the 6th one is going to go. I just hope full Dinotopia. I think that's where we're going.